I want you to think about the last time someone offered to help you and you said, no, I'm good, I got it. Or the last time that you were struggling or maybe not feeling well, you're feeling a little bit off and somebody asked, hey, are you okay? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm good, no worries. When was the last time you actually let someone in? Because here's what I know after coaching so many women through this pattern. That thing that you call independence, that's not a personality trait. That's armor, and that armor is quietly costing you the relationship that you want. Welcome back, guys and gals, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jess. I'm a relationship coach, and I help you become the woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire by raising your self-worth, your feminine confidence, and your standards so that you can become a natural match to the love and life you want. All right, so today we are diving in, and we're gonna go real deep here because we are talking about hyper-independence. And more specifically, we're gonna get into what exactly it is, where it comes from, and most importantly, how it's showing up in your relationships without you even realizing it. So real talk here, coming from experience, I am a recovering type A, hyper-independent millennial girl boss. Okay, so I know my millennial girls know what I'm talking about. I was someone who prided myself on not needing anybody. I had my career, I had my goals, I had my big plans, and I thought that that is what a high value, confident woman looks like. You know, the one where she doesn't need any rescuing, she figures it all out, she knows how to handle it, she is totally capable of doing everything on her own. There was a time in my life where I didn't feel secure, I didn't feel confident, and I didn't feel like I could be chosen or that I was worthy of feeling at ease in life. And so the way that I coped with that was I just decided to need less, to ask for less. I decided to become someone who just couldn't be disappointed because I would never let myself depend on anybody in the first place. So spoiler alert, that did not make me happy at all. In fact, it made me very, very lonely, and it made me really hard to actually be loved. And this isn't to say because I wasn't lovable, but it's because I wouldn't let anybody love me. I wouldn't let anybody in. Because here's what I want you to understand. Your independence, it might have been the thing that saved you at one point in your life. It kept you moving forward. It kept protecting you. And we really need to honor that. But what protected you then might be what's blocking you now. Quick pause. If while you're watching this, you recognize yourself in this pattern and you realize this is the work that you need to do, I do work with women one-to-one who are ready to become a woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire. So I will leave my calendar link in the description below so you can book a free call with me. We can chat, see where you're at, see where you want to be, and see if we're a good fit to work together. So let's talk about where this actually comes from, because hyper-independence is not a flaw. It's a learned strategy that you developed to protect you. At some point, something happened. Maybe it was in childhood, maybe it was a past relationship where you learned that depending on people wasn't safe. Maybe someone let you down repeatedly, or you had an emotionally unavailable parent. Maybe you're the one who always had to hold it together, or maybe asking for help felt like weakness or like a burden or like it would never come, so you just stopped asking. And your brain is really, really smart. So it said, okay, needing people causes pain, then I'm gonna stop needing people altogether. And so it built a wall. And not out of cruelty, it's out of protection. This is your nervous system doing exactly what it is designed to do. Keep you safe. But here's the problem with that. That wall that you put up, it's not just keeping out that familiar pain, it's also keeping out love. So you cannot selectively numb. You cannot say, okay, I'm gonna keep the wall up for vulnerability and fear, but I'm gonna let warmth, love, and intimacy in. That's just not how it works. This armor, this wall that you put up, it protects you from everything, including the good stuff. You are not your past conditioning, you are not your old coping strategies, and you are not the identity that you built to survive. Here's what's actually happening in your brain. Your amygdala, which is your threat detection part of your brain, is trying to keep you safe, and it has been conditioned to flag intimacy as being dangerous. And not because intimacy is dangerous, but because at some point it felt like it was. So now every time someone wants to get close or help you or be there for you or wants to go deeper and get closer to you, your amygdala fires. And your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational part of your brain, completely shuts down and gets hijacked. Your body goes into full-blown protection mode, and this is why receiving feels uncomfortable. This is why someone doing something nice for you makes you feel like you owe them something. This is why vulnerability feels like weakness, even though you logically know this is not true. And your brain has been rewired to experience love as a threat. The good news is your brain is neuroplastic, which means you can rewire your brain and teach it new healthy patterns. And this is exactly the work of healing. And it all starts with awareness. All right, let me give you the 3 most common ways hyperindependence shows up in your relationships. I am going to ask you to be really honest with yourself as we talk about these 3 things and see where it's showing up in your current relationships. Sign number 1, you overfunction. So what this can look like is you plan everything or you solve everything, you handle everything. And when a man tries to step up and do something for you, you've already done it, or you redirect it, or you say something like, oh, it's okay, I got it. So then he slowly stops trying to do anything. And it's not because he doesn't care. It's just because to him, you've made it so clear that there's no space for him to come in and do the things. Sign number 2, you struggle to receive. So what this can look like is someone gives you a compliment and you deflect it, or somebody offers you some kind of help and you turn it down, or someone does something thoughtful for you even, and you immediately feel like you owe them or need to return the favor immediately. Sign number 3, vulnerability feels like weakness. So how this can show up is maybe you're struggling to open up fully and even maybe share that you're struggling or going through a hard time right now. Or maybe it's that feeling of letting someone see the parts of you that aren't perfectly put together, and that's just so terrifying to you. All of that makes it feel like you have to show up so polished and you have to show up so strong, and you show up like, you have it all figured out and all of it put together. And the person across from you never actually gets to know you. So if any of these signs are popping up in your life right now, I want you to know that you are not alone. I have been there and I have struggled and been guilty of all 3 of these. And it wasn't until I met my now husband that I really realized that if I wanted to have that deep, intimate connection with a potential life partner, I had to become vulnerable. I had to open up and I had to actually let him see me so that we could go deep together and get on that next level. Because when you allow yourself to be seen, that's when you allow yourself to fully be loved. And that is what creates a deep, intimate, fully connected relationship with someone. So how do you start to shift this? Well, I'm gonna give you some practical steps here because, as you know, I love giving you action steps where you can start getting results on day 1. So here are the 3 steps to shift out of your hyper-independent state. Step 1, notice the armor. Start paying attention to those moments in your life where you automatically start to pull back if someone starts to get a little too close for you. When you say, oh, I'm fine, and you're really not, or when you turn down help, or you deflect a comment, or when someone gets close and you feel the urge to close yourself off. Remember, you cannot shift what you refuse to look at, so awareness is always going to be the first step. We have to know where our starting point is. Step 2, practice receiving in small moments. So when someone wants to hold the door open for you or open your door for you, let them. When someone wants to give you a compliment, say thank you and let it land. Don't deflect it or immediately return a compliment. And if somebody wants to offer you help, try saying yes, actually, instead of no, thank you, I got it. It's okay to start small. You are literally retraining your nervous system. So these small moments of safe receiving add up to big identity shifts. Step 3, choose vulnerability on purpose. Start with just one moment, one person, or one honest thing that you want to share that feels kind of scary to open up about. Because that relationship that you want, it's not built on the version of you that doesn't need anyone. It is built on the version of you who is willing to be seen. So get curious and ask yourself, when did I first learn that needing people was dangerous? And is that still true for me today? So I'm gonna give you another journal prompt for you today so that you can reflect on everything we've talked about today. So I want you to ask yourself, Where in my life am I wearing independence as armor? Where am I keeping people at an arm's distance? Not because I want to necessarily, but because it feels safer than being seen. And then as a bonus question, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, is you can ask, what would it feel like to let one person, just one, a little closer this week? And maybe you pick that one person that you want to let in a little bit more. It can be someone in your family, it can be a close friend, it can be anybody. Just pick that one person that you're just gonna inch your way closer to being fully seen by them. Because here's what I know, the love that you want, it exists. And the woman who's going to receive that love is not the woman who has it all together. She is the woman who's brave enough to be fully real and step into her full authenticity and be her true self. All right, so let's bring it all home, shall we? Your independence is a gift. It is strength. It is resilience. And if you are using it as armor, if you're using it to keep people out, if you're using it to make it impossible to receive love, then it is costing you the relationship that you want. You don't have to choose between being a strong woman and a woman who is deeply loved. You can be both, but it starts with taking the armor off, one piece at a time. And that is the strongest thing you can do. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you found this helpful, please share with another woman who may need to hear this today. And of course, if at any point you realize you want to go deeper in this work and you don't want to do it alone, and you're ready to become the woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire, I do offer one-to-one coaching and only work with a small group of women at a time because it is so high touch. So I will leave my book a call link for you in the description below so you can book a free relationship call. We can get on phone, chat, see where you're at, see where you want to be, and see if we're a good fit to work together. All right, remember, self-love isn't optional. It's a foundation for the relationship and life you desire. I'll see you in the next one.